Welcome back to day 19 in our study of Colossians. I just want to say, if you've been following every single day with us, you are crushing it. You've been journeying with us, and I just want to let you know that there are only 4 more episodes to go, including this one. So on that note, let's dive in. Here's what you need to know about the gospel. The gospel starts at home. All right, let's read Colossians 3 verses 18 through 21 together. It says, "Wives, submit yourselves to your husbands, as is fitting in the Lord. Husbands, love your wives and do not be harsh with them. Children, obey your parents in everything, for this pleases the Lord. And fathers, do not embitter your children, or they will become discouraged." Okay, so Paul's making a shift here. The last few episodes, he's been talking about personal behavior, the lifestyle of the believer. And now he shifts to how we should be acting in the home. There are expectations for the believers with how husbands treat their wives, how wives treat their husbands, how parents are to parent, and how children are to honor their parents. These are 4 simple verses, but there's a lot to unpack together. So let's dive in. First up, Paul says, "Wives, you are to submit to your husbands." Now, a verse like this, with language like this, can spark some strong feelings. So we have to examine this verse under the weight of all of the scriptures and all that the Bible says about how wives are to treat their husbands. I would say that a wife who comes under the authority of her husband, and a wife who is able to do that, is speaking his love language. Now, this is generally speaking, because I believe a man actually has to live worthy of that. And so he has to be living in a way where she can come under his leadership. But generally speaking, I do believe that a man is fulfilling his role as provider, protector, and the priest of his home. And when he does that, his wife would want to come under his authority. I've heard it say this way: wives, whatever you speak over your husband will either multiply or metastasize them. So when you speak to his good and his godly calling over his life, that's going to multiply those things in his life. But if you speak to the negative and constantly highlight where he is wrong time and time again, then like a cancer, it will metastasize. So Paul says, let's submit and come under his covering. Now, men, it's simple. It says love your wife. Come on, they get easier than that. But here's where it can be tricky. Her language of feeling love, now that's going to be different for every woman. So husbands, your responsibility is to discover what makes her feel loved. What is her love language? And do those things. The way you give love may not be the way that she receives love. So you have to find out, how does she receive love? And I need to make sure I am speaking her love language. Husbands, work at that this week. Then he shifts his dynamic to children and parents. And first up is the command for children to obey and honor their parents. And I say this command because it happens to be one of the 10 commandments, that you are to honor your father and mother. Now, the biggest reason that children should honor their father and mother is that they've lived the life that you are living now. And when you see that they've been there before and they have seen most of what you are going through right now, then out of their love and care for you, they're going to point you in the right direction. So even if you don't like what you're hearing from mom and dad, generally speaking, they're looking out for you and they're pointing you in the right direction. And finally, Paul says, parents, don't provoke your children to anger. Here's the deal. Your children are gifts from God to be stewarded and led. You are not to live through your children vicariously, hoping to accomplish things through them that you were never able to accomplish yourself. Your responsibility is to see and steward the call of God over their life and to join him in the effort of discipling them into the image of God. That's what we are to do. That's how we are to parent not provoking them to anger. So this family dynamic, wives with submission, husbands with love, children with honor, parents discipling your children, this is the gospel at work in our homes. And it builds the foundation for how we then enter the world outside of our home. We are built upon a gospel foundation inside of our home so that we are ready to face the world outside. Hey, I hope this episode caused you to maybe question some things, reflect on some things, and most importantly, that you would go and do the work to fix those things. This one's been a fun one. I've been enjoying this whole lesson and journey through Colossians, and I can't wait to see you back tomorrow.